past time to start, so we should probably start.
Yes.
Shut up, Eric.
We get a lot of that.
That's my line.
I actually am going to turn this over to my fellow producers, my AD and my other AD. Or they're not yet.
Writer.
Right, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to them to start with, and I can tell you a little bit more about who the production company is, and kind of where we started, and show you some backstage stuff before we break out the latest that we've got on our current contract. So, go girls.
I'd also like to say welcome, everybody. I'm sorry, yeah, I was over there in my own zone and forgot to come out here. But welcome to the Urban Fantasy Track. How many of you have been here, been coming? Anybody? All right. Thank you, we appreciate it. This is the third year of the track. It just so happens to be the third year that we've had Tower of Turtles with us. So I will now leave you in their capable hands. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go.
All right. And start.
All right. So first and foremost, for those of you who don't know who we individually are, since you know who we collectively are, so starting off, of course, we have our fearless leader and director, Mr. Bill Teal. And then we'll just work our way down the. Are we going to all introduce the person to our right, or do you want to introduce yourself? That involves thinking, so I'm going to say just, do, how about a do-it-yourself job from now on? Okay, well, why do you do yourself? Yes. All right, so I am Amy Bruce. I am the assistant director, location scout.
My brain.
His brain. And I'm playing an original character that Susie created for me, Ruth Swakowski, aka Oracle.
Real quick, let you know that Oracle is an incredibly important part of the story because she is our both our Whoopi, which is somebody that you hate to see kicked, and our little puppy, and she's our dummy in the sense that she allows exposition to explain things that otherwise would be confusing.
They call that talking head.
Yes, so she is an incredibly important character to what we're doing, and for that.
I'm Susie Solomon. I write and play Murphy. And that was kind of fun. That's I'm good. Okay, next. You wrote it.
Are we gonna go down to the other side, or what do we do?
Go.
Yeah. Yes. Pass it all the way down.
Oh, all right.
Whoosh balls.
Hey everybody, I am Matthew Duvall, and I am new to Tower of Turtles, this film, and I am playing Casimir, a Black Fork vampire, original character. I am not a nice man.
No, dear, you were definitely not. I'm Ray Dawson. I'm second AD, which means I heard cats, and I play Molly Carpenter.
I'm Ryan Merritt. This is my first Tower Turtle production, and I'm playing Warden Wild Bill Myers.
Yeah!
Small part of the book so far, but we decided to give him a little extra time.
I'm George Murphy, and I'm the art director.
Amazing art director.
Yes. Coincidence. So tiny and fierce. She is very tiny and fierce.
But she also, let me real quick, we asked her to do what was originally a non-speaking role but needed to be on film, Anastasia Lucio. Now I give her lines, so she's like,
Italian accent. It's very hard.
That's
okay, I'll figure it out.
Hey, Landon, who are you?
Welcome to the White Club.
Hey, I'm Landon Solomon, and I have a part in the film.
Just absolutely just minuscule.
The boy makes the team.
Just some guy. Barely the guys.
Yeah.
One side cred. Like a vampire number 5.
Okay, Landon, who do you play?
I'm Harry.
we figured we would start with some little behind-the-scenes clips that we took from Red Sun, and then we're going to introduce you to how Tower of Turtles came about. And a lot of people ask us, are you just really big Ninja Turtle fans? But if you see on the logos on everyone's shirts, except mine, because I'm in custom.
Or mine.
It refers to the cosmological concept of infinite regress, and it was a story that was told. And I don't know to which, several cosmologists claim it, but anyway, it's the theory that the world stands on the back of a turtle. But what does that turtle stand on? Well, another turtle, and then more turtles, and it's all just a giant tower of turtles, and there's no finding the foundation at the bottom, so you might as well just go with what you know.
An old lady who says, scientist who says this, and she says, "Oh, you can't fool me, young man. It's turtles all the way down."
Yep. So that's our little phrase. Besides our geekery knows no bounds, is it's turtles all the way down. Yes.
And we figured that we would share some of the behind-the-scenes stuff because part of my job as assistant director is running the set, and this is a really special job when you have cast and crew of about, I think at our biggest it was about 50 people, 53. 53, and they are by and large improvisationally trained actors as well. So yeah, occasionally we get some additional things happening on camera, and then sometimes I have to be the big meanie poop head and tell them to stop and get back to work.
To write like money was no object.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So what do we have for our first tidbit?
Okay, I guess I'll set these up. The first thing we were doing is we've got the alphas in our film, and so we were filming a scene with the alphas, and before we film, we usually do a run through of the script, and this was watching them rehearse their lines.
Volume.
You got no sound.
Because you're not plugged in.
Where's my sound? Oh, it's still in your.
Put through HDMI.
It's still in. No, the
No,
sound is here.
no.
Put through HDMI.
That's just power.
It's the alphas through interpretive mime.
No, you like sound.
No.
That's just power.
Go.
It doesn't have a thing.
Playback device through HDMI.
Okay.
You might need to
No,
sit
she
there.
knows what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might need to do that.
Yeah, come here.
That's okay, Susie will
It's a more powerful IT.
I just had a whole bunch of people give me a whole lot of alcohol.
I'm not gonna let you let that one down.
Now recall your certifications. About 3 people got that.
Sorry, Susie, you walked right into it. You should have been prepared.
I do sequel stories.
That's even worse.
That was less signal.
There we go.
Not a blue screen, it's a step up.
Everyone could have shut their lines.
While I have technical ones.
She's got a broken HDMI cord.
Cut her out.
Nope.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, the setting is on the projector?
not everything is on the projector.
The files are in the computer.
It's right there. Control P, print. Control print.
Oh.
P. It's
right
right
there.
there.
Try turning it off and on again.
No.
Come here.
He has a flash with the same
I don't know where the
thing.
plug went.
It's through that, so that way when you switch, you can go
Oh.
into it. You don't have to switch.
Oh, okay. So is it going to have sound?
Nope.
Nope.
Stand by music.
How's everybody doing? Everybody's
I
on
promise
their
we-
feet.
Let me simply say, we did test this before you walked in, and then they changed the configuration.
And then he walked in.
Hey everyone, what's your favorite Dresden Files complaint? Let's fill some space here.
Actually, there was one thing that wasn't mentioned with the infinite recursion thing, and the Tower of Turtles, and it being turtles all the way down.
Yes.
It's
Time.
sometimes
Stretch.
it's comedic timing. Come on. When you're looking for the foundation of something, you can't spend too much time searching for it before you just jump in and do something. This entire endeavor is based on, it would be cool if we did. No, let's do it.
That's my whole job, by the way, is just, oh, you know what would be cool if we made this thing.
Sometimes
That
you
is
just gotta.
my entire job.
Yeah, so Jordan, let me ask you an important question. Who was it that said, hey, I can do stuff when we put out a call for volunteers?
That was me on
Yeah.
our first meeting.
Check, check.
By the end of our second meeting, I said, by the way, you're my art director. I didn't ask.
Pretty much. And she didn't run screaming.
Always a good sign.
Can we do the thing? We can do the thing.
All right, let's do the thing.
Okay.
Do the thing?
All right, so rehearsal.
First read through.
But that way, everybody, we don't have to go through the whole process of getting them off. And she's like, so it very much is, you know, it's like, whoa, 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 and then, like, we have to take them off before we ship. It's like, we have to take them off before we ship so we won't get tangled.
They're closed.
It's like, and then your response is, I'll help you out of them if it works.
Always wanted to take clothes off wolves.
Alright, so where are we?
Alright, so that,
So we're trying to explain people's motivation to them, and when some of the actors that we have never read the books. And they're like, wait, I'm
Yeah.
Working on it!
But by the way, we lived hard and fast by the rules, because I'm kind of a canon Nazi, and I said if my outfits are going to shift, they got to be naked. So we did that very tastefully.
Yeah. So fun challenge of trying to deal with the nakeding and the unnakeding process. Very technical terms here for you.
It's basically like Lashiel was in Nightlight. Everyone who's like naked is wearing clothes that are just off screen somewhere. Coily place. Yes.
Don't ruin it.
And then we've got a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Okay.
Then boom, boom.
Well,
Side by side.
bring this,
Okay,
when you
automatic
bring up the
rifle.
sight and cock it all in one motion.
That's okay, that's
Yeah.
what?
That's what he did, bring the sight up and cock it all in one motion, because your hand's moving back, so grab the hammer and pull that out.
Everything I'm broke.
One more thing, I'm sorry.
You're gonna brush your hand over it, and in that time, you're gonna switch it to semi-automatic. 2 seconds are
Yes.
gonna pop up and still loaded, it's
Yeah.
gonna have to go.
And two people will drop dead. Yeah.
Way go!
And you put the foundation of the building over half an inch?
Yeah.
And bake some bread.
It's a complicated gun.
Yes, dear.
And it's her first time seeing it.
Okay, then contact you.
And that's kind of the sexiest part.
Sorry, we curse a lot.
No.
I'm not fucking sorry.
That's why we're in the
There's a lot of people who want to look up.
Alright, so it's awesome. It's down here, the front side is up, the back side is down. It's not cocked, I have no idea what's in the magazine, the stop is too long. So, in all that time I fixed, I don't even know what I just said. And Murphy's like, I think King K has one of these. Let me see. Where? It's coming out right now.
Yeah.
Bam!
Oh, 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 oh.
And then the gun broke on the first take. Like half a breech loader. It worked for a half an hour.
You were just too much woman for that gun.
God, you're so hot right now.
The slash just writes itself.
We're not making that movie. And yet.
So, because Nightlight was kind of a noir detective, ruminatory, lots of hairy voiceover narration type of film, where there are lots of dark shadows and everybody talks about things and looks very distressed about things, we decided now we were going to make a big summer popcorn action plotless film with lots of kaboom, and so there's a lot of fighting.
And then she wrote the script.
I added some plot.
And yeah, it got good. So
So this is one of Wild Bill practicing one of his moves, and one of the things that we try to do as often as we can is blow up things in the hallway. And sorry. Someone's dying now. Apparently it hurts.
Quick, tell a joke.
So.
You've got to shut them all down.
So Wild Bill rehearsing one of his stunts. Son of a. So a lot of the people that we have in our film are like, would you like to come and die 11 times? They're like, yes.
It's amazing
What kind of
how many
question
people
is
say
that?
yes.
So how many times can you fall down in a row?
Yes. So pretty much anyone who is on crew on this film is also an extra that dies at some point, if not 11 points.
I was going to say, or more.
Corwin does.
Corwin dies all the time because he's the only one who can get thrown into the
There's a
water.
drinking
He's
game.
young,
We're
he's
gonna
like
have to
18 and flippy. We can throw him into walls and he's fine.
Here's where we show off Jordan. Our sets are usually builds in people's garages and backyards and stuff like that. Check out this garage.
Mm-hmm. This door looks awesome.
Also, most of our actors are also crew at the same time. So, this one's longer, and Jedi will go around in a circle. This is all Jedi filming. He's our Carlos. And our unit, too. Whoops, script. Well, can fix it in post. And our crash pads are rainbow colored, which has been challenging.
Our Georgia for this film too was a huge help with this, by the way. It's her garage. I just started a new job and I was a little fried as general, but she was hugely helpful.
It's really
Awesome.
stealthy, Susie.
Thank you. Speaking of doing all our own stunts, I do not know how to do this, and this is the owner of the bike running alongside me. And that's me, trying not to die. I laid that fucker down 3 times. And the owner of the bike is 6'9". We're like, land and you're fired.
Yeah, he did several laps around that parking lot, if I remember.
Whoa! Yes.
So he took 3 steps.
He started out just standing on the corner, and I would go in circles around the building. And then we would come in circles around the building, but there was nobody there to warn me if there was an oncoming car. And there was one, and we both kind of went, ugh, and I went, boof.
And we're on the other side of the building going, what?
And Bill went, are you okay? Is the bike okay?
Yes.
So, and one of the places we got to film was called Dark Hour. It's a year-round haunted house.
If you're ever in Dallas, you must go. It is amazing.
It is the haunted house in Dallas.
You cannot describe it without saying fucking before your adjective. It's amazing.
It also, they run 9 different shows a year. So they run the main show, which is the September-October show. Then they run seasonal shows. And they run a Christmas show that's got Krampus and all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah. Wreck the Halls.
It's called Wreck the Halls. Then they do Love is Blind, which for February, which is terrifying because it's almost entirely in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
They do Dog Days of Summer, which is all werewolves. And it's amazing. And
They do the Easter zombie show.
Yeah. And the sets are amazing, which you'll see some of in the trailer and here.
I'm gonna skip some shit.
Yeah, the person who runs it came up working Disney and a lot of Orlando theme parks. His production value is amazing, and we got to benefit from that. It's out of this world.
Yeah, the result was greater than the sum of its parts. And here's, this is just Jedi standing behind the scenes with his DSLR.
Wild Bill, you just killed a bunch of vampires. What are you going to do now?
I'm going Disneyland. Look off to one side a little bit. 1, 2, 3.
That's our Machiavelli.
Perfect. Looking good, thanks, sir. Yeah.
The blood is sticky. You cannot scratch your anything. Sound technician Shannon. Stuntman. We're looking for Harry. There he is.
For now, I'm going to be actually shooting him coming out.
Harry! Harry! Harry!
What?
Oh, you're so emo right there.
Warhol, certainly, please, Bill.
This was, that was makeup done to make them look like they'd pretty much cashed all their magical reserves and they were feeling
By
it,
the
so.
end of this, they are down to nothing.
So-
And we want that to look like they're really stressing at the end of it.
And because they were really stressing to do silly things,
Oh, no.
yeah, that's totally gonna happen.
Bill, what do you call a virgin with a sword? Oh, no, Bill, what do you call a virgin with a sword? Carlos!
Virgin with a sword, Carla.
I missed everything that you said.
So all this started about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago when Bill wrote original epic fantasy and decided let's do this thing. Everybody come on and cast you. We'll make up some costumes with whatever we can find in our leftover Scarborough Fair closets and we'll run around with little handy cams and make a Tolkien film. Yeah, well, there are airplanes and telephone poles and things like that, and so it was a lot harder than we realized. But this is where we came from before we show you where we have come to. This is what we did with Lightbringer.
Not
Nope.
part of it.
Aw, Molly.
Or not.
That was awesome. I don't care what you say.
We're gonna.
I totally want to see
Yeah, we're gonna. No.
Sorry, do you want me to pause? Tell them later. This is our Carlos. Gordon. I mean, clearly you can recognize him. We like that dragon. It's really cool. Damn it, Windows Movie Maker. And our Murphy.
Who's that?
Apparently, this is nothing but shoot arrows.
Yes, my job was ranged artillery. Hey, I'm typecast.
You did it to yourself.
Who wrote this one? I did not write Lightbringer.
Did you smudge your makeup?
I've been beaten bloody, but it's blue because I'm an elf. It's a long story. It's complicated.
Fucking elves.
That's actually an outtake though.
I know, but it was a beautiful outtake. You actually smiled.
Elves don't smile. Sure, it's in the rule book somewhere.
And I like the last of the Mohicans run there.
Yeah. And now I shoot all the things.
Then she shoots arrows.
I
Lots of
shot him
arrows.
with a rabbit blunt and he had a loss of grouping, of bruises on his shoulder.
And her grouping was great.
He was like, this is impressive.
And ow.
Oh, also ow. And then this is something that we're going to end up putting together and putting on YouTube for Red Sun as well, but we haven't got them all pulled out of the raw yet, and outtakes reel, which we did immediately for Lightbringer. And I put in the note file for some reason. Nope. Okay. And we're kind of a repertory film company, so you're going to recognize all these people from Red Sun. It was 115 degrees in Texas when we filmed this outside.
It was the hottest summer on record in Texas.
That'd be Carlos boogieing to his fight choreography. This is them trying to make me smile.
God damn it! Sorry, what else? I got it. Okay.
Andy of the Alphas.
Oh, that's I know. Right here. There's just no way to avoid it. Damn it! Stop! I think my teeth are glossy now, too. Yes. It's okay. Alright, it's not that
Wow, never mind. It's all that shared DNA. All right.
McAnally.
I know.
He won't have hair.
I know. I did dialect. Sorry.
He falls into his fair character sometimes.
Sometimes.
Cut.
We must assume that the enemy knows at least some of our plan.
Regardless of the magic, they still be late.
Cut.
And that was Russian. Shit!
Do that one more time.
Enemy no part of flag! They keep going in and out of Russia.
It's an easy dialect to follow. Ah, crew on the set.
Pro tip, never use green screen when you have green trees.
That was a learning curve too.
I do not know my way to the boat.
By all means, please.
No,
Could you,
The thing happens. The thing. Just realized that
that would be funny.
It's supposed to be a portal.
Outtakes from Stargate, and I've watched Richard D. Anderson do the exact same thing.
Part of it is that I just pirouetted in place with the prop. Disco Doris. Nice one. Thanks.
He fell all the way down the stairs. On purpose, it was a stunt. This is Bill Riddle, he's amazing at stunts.
Make pretty lips, hold on.
Sword the whole way down the stairs.
Carlos, take us to the gun show. He's never read the books, we told him that's fine. You got this.
Yeah.
So how about the trailer?
And now for something completely different.
Who wants to see a red
There's
trailer?
no trailer. It's in the there it is.
All right, so you guys, in the meantime, like I said, we have a really ginormous cast and crew, most of whom who couldn't be here, but they were really excited when we showed them what we're going to show you, and mostly were very nervous because they're all stage actors and used to instant feedback instead of people that are going to see things way later. Like, are they going to like us? Is going to be anybody there? So how about we just do a quick little picture so I can show everybody at home that you guys are really excited to see what we've got coming, and then I will post it to the group. And yes, all right.
All the thumbs.
Woo! All right, everybody say fuego!
So this is
No. Okay.
I'm just so glad.
this is our first extended look at Red Sun.
Never again. Or hell itself will not hide you from me. There's been a kidnapping.
Harry! Harry! Ghouls! They took the kids, man. Freaking ghouls took the kids.
They got the warden trainees that Ramirez was escorting. Where are they? Undertown. They're in Undertown.
Kill them all.
Count on it.
So we've still got a few minutes, so what questions do you guys have that we will be able to answer about what you just saw?
That is not a fair question. But it's only cool if we get to sing that we're not going to tell you some words.
Do you have a rough idea of when you'll have the film completed and ready for it, even if it's like December of blah
Yeah,
blah year?
we're not making any hard commitments, but our intent at this point, we got a lot of post-production to do, but our intent at this point is to try to get it finished so that it can be shown here next year.
Hopefully next year.
We're still in the middle of principal photography,
Yeah, we're still
so
shooting, so.
yeah.
But we might need to talk to Carol about that because it's going to be 2 hours long.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This is feature length, guys. It didn't start out, well, yes it did. It started out at about 65 to 70 minutes. Now we're looking at least 90 plus.
I think they're fine with it.
Other questions?
Some fun things.
Maybe a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have a question.
You gotta stand up, Mandy. Nobody can see you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
So I noticed.
Another chair.
Ouch. So I noticed you have this fantastic head on display here. Would you tell us more about it, please?
Jordan did it.
We wanted to do, quite honestly, I would have loved to have done a full suit, but that's expensive. we wanted to do a red court vampire out of flesh mask. We wanted, and so in that kick that Carlos makes on Maricela, he actually splits her flesh mask, and she peels and rips out of it, and this is what is revealed. And the rest of the fight, looks like this. And Jordan sat down with some sketches, and we started talking about it. And she's a stickler. She's an anatomist. So most of this is actually coming off of the skull of a real vampire bat that she turned into the mask. And it's amazing. It's just amazing. Looks even better when it's slathered with KY.
Crazy.
Many things are.
My life tomorrow.
Yeah, and that transitioned into the other thing that you were going to show, yeah?
Yeah. So this is Carlos's sword, and this is one of the things that comes out, but most people don't realize it. It's only mentioned once in White Knight. But Harry and Carlos they're broken by what's going on. They're both going through a lot of situations that a lot of people at war go through, which is kind of what this film has turned into, is how do you deal with war and the things that it makes you do. This is Carlos's sword, and if you'll notice on the end of it, those are red court vampire teeth that he has pulled out and is now and they collect them. Harry's all going into a jar that's in the lab. Carlos keeps his only the ones he's killed with the sword. He puts them on the end of his sword.
And this is canon.
And this is straight canon. And this is what initiates the sword fight between one of our main bad guys and Carlos. Is the fact that she sees this and just goes ape and says, one of you thinks you're a swordsman, let's do this.
You, come here.
And Carlos uses it as an opportunity to start a distraction so that the rest of our heroes can then do what they need to do. But yeah, the sword and the vampire teeth, and again, designed off of what vampire teeth really look like. And if you've ever seen them, it's amazing. They are terrifying. They make just long canines on people look tame. So.
There's one more sword.
Oh yeah, this is.
I have the power.
What is that, Lord?
And he made him in 16 and 20 penny. No kidding, to scale.
Nice.
Yeah, this was another one of our happy volunteers who stepped forward and originally said, sure, yeah, I'll be crew extra. And then we said, hey, guys, any other skills or stuff that you would be able to share? And he said, well, I do some PVC armor with the Mandalorian mercs. Sold, yes, you're ours.
We liked them first.
Yes.
So he measured out and studied everything for Eric's height, and then he built the Coke bottle cap hat and the nail sword and the Pepto-Bismol breastplate. So we get to have Toot and all of that when he's going to battle. So, it's awesome. Any other questions? Yes.
So I know you want this moment. How come you guys are in the water at some point?
Because my parents have a pool.
Because my
Can I tell them why?
Yes.
Oh, Susie, do the thing you wanted to do.
Yeah, do it, Susie.
I'm giving you the option.
Oh, okay, but that
Do
was
it.
kind of a generic question. All right, I'm not gonna.
I specifically would like to know why you are.
No, honestly, it's because one of the models that I did for this original film, when I told Susie, I said, hey, you remember the scene in Big Trouble in Little China where they're swimming through the water? I want one of those.
Except I made it like hellish.
Yes.
For me.
But I said I want to shoot some stuff in the water. I want to shoot some stuff underwater. And she was like, you want to what? Yeah. By the way, you're gonna go swimming in the water. So just,
And then the scariest part of that, where I have like this much space between the water and the surface that I have to breathe for like 15 minutes, and we're filming next weekend, so it was nice knowing you.
But how come that's happening?
If you die, can I have your dogs? I'm not gonna.
No.
Thank you. Tell me the moment.
You can have pickup.
I mean, you can probably surmise they have to go into Undertown to go get the baby wardens. And Undertown, of course, as we all know, is this mishmash conglomerate of storm sewers, weird stuff from other different centuries, and who the hell knows what else.
And everything terrifying.
Yes. Yeah. And yes.
We expect a scene where someone throws something at a vampire, or a vampire throws something and throw it back at them, and it hits them in the head, based on Big Trouble in Little China.
We're giving him ideas. Because then I've got to figure out a way to schedule
Well,
that.
that's filming, so who knows, right?
Don't give him ideas.
Why are you not vodka?
Yes.
Honestly,
He said to make it a mashup of Big Trouble in Little China and The Expendables.
Why would you do that?
But I originally intended for it to be a film that we could do a lot of blowing up stuff and shooting stuff and not have to worry about plot holes or anything like that, because like, wasn't gonna care, right? Just drive a truck, who cares? We're gonna blow stuff up. And then she wrote a good script. And
Sorry.
it was a really good script, and we have continued to work on it and refine it. But it really has turned into first of all, it's pretty dark, but it's also very much a commentary again about people in war and what they will do to get themselves through it, what they will become to do the things that they need to do.
And also, I did not write this alone. I came up with the first draft, and then it got longer when these two started adding scenes as well and writing it too. So I did that. This is not a me alone credit.
When in the Dresden timeline does this?
Good question.
Good question. This actually happens between Small Favor and Turncoat.
It is 1 month before Turncoat, which is why there's a Kirby. Oh, sorry, spoilers. Too soon.
It's been out a while.
He's a leaf on the wind.
Michael.
Too soon. Always too soon.
Michael.
Whoever song is here.
Hello, sweetie.
Michael is still convalescing. He's now at home, and and so Charity is trying to keep the house as calm and quiet as possible, and war keeps coming to her door, and that's what this is. And so there's a lot of things going on in her mind, but one of them is she's not happy, with Harry particularly.
And one of the reasons that we had to put in that particular shot of our Charity, as you can see, is, you know, even before Murphy helped her out, she definitely had like the gun show happening. And that is because our Charity actually is a Highland gamer, so for fun she throws around telephone poles and big giant rocks.
We have proven that she can deadlift me and not shake.
Yeah.
It was scary. And it kind of turned me on.
That's my mom you're talking about?
Oh, I'm aware.
I've already read that.
We had another question?
Do you have a Thomas in the film?
Not in this film.
Not in this one.
Not in this one.
We have all the other ways.
Oh yeah, it is pretty wraithful.
Yes.
Aww.
It's Wraithalicious.
Sir,
new footage of Charity deadlifting Mary?
There are pictures
There's
on
still
Facebook.
photos on my Facebook somewhere. She deadlifted like him and then me and then somebody else and yeah. And then
our Georgia
Georgia,
did.
Georgia had to get in on the
Georgia
action
did
too.
Because Georgia.
Because they all wanted to prove that I was just a dumbbell.
Well, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Does it ever feel too real?
We actually had a couple of people. Understand that not all, a lot of our performers are just people that we know that are good friends. Some of them have some real performance training. Others just do it because they started doing it like at fair and various things like that and have continued. We actually had Georgia go someplace to do a scene, and she had trouble coming back from it for a couple of hours afterwards. The first time I got Landon to go someplace really dark, he had trouble for a little bit coming back. We're exploring some really deep, dark territory in some of this stuff, and
The rest of us are just faking it.
Yeah, but I can still cry on cue apparently. So we found
yeah,
out.
we've had some pretty emotional, and as a result of that, on set we have this thing that our AD started called 30-second dance party. So when things get too real or too intense, she calls 30-second dance party, throws on some music, and everybody must dance.
Which is pretty silly if we were like picking ourselves up, blood covered off the ground, and like dead people stand up again and start rocking out.
Do we have an example or enumeration of songs that were selected for such dance parties?
Please hold.
Oh, where's the
I'd love to tell you.
I'm assuming that if we play these songs, then all of you will get up and dance, right? Like that's already.
Only if the AD calls 30-second dance.
AD.
Why are you people doing this?
Yes, I'm just going to point out to the AD right now that if she'd ever like a caramel again, she might not want to do that.
And I would like to point out with Molly that if you want to sleep where you were sleeping last night.
I ship that.
Do it.
Oh my god, and apparently Oracle is becoming more 3D to me because suddenly somewhere in me Ruth went, yeah, so for example, we've got, let's see, the Dead Milkmen, Bitch and Camaro, we've got Daft Punk, we've got Beastie Boys Intergalactic, let's see, Cherry Pop and Daddy, Zoot Suit Riot, M&M's Without Me, Juicebox by The Strokes, Boogeyman, White Zombie, Ponda Replay, Rihanna, yeah, there's a little music-based life form, nerds, yeah, we do it, it's a thing.
Oh, by the way, and it's just going to be a short clip. You won't see much of it, but we will actually get an opportunity to see Max 80-watt Trans Am in the film. White pace car, pretty neat. What? Yeah, real quick. I do want to point out one extra thing that I want to say. For those of you who do not know that this is an incredible time and energy drain for all of us, and some of us actually have families.
What?
That I would like to say thank you to all of our significant others and spouses and friends who are putting up with our crap.
And to be fair, part of that is why we're taking so long to do this.
Yeah, John. John Nathan is married to Matthew. My wife, Joanne, is on the end down here. This is my daughter, who has become a Dresden fanatic because of. She was actually in the. If you saw Nightlight, she was actually the little girl Emily in Nightlight, and she has been really helpful, and she thinks Jordan is like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Well, because she is, turns out.
And she wants to cosplay Murphy.
Well, because she kept, floating, like you do, and so the answer was, Nikki, can you please hold a paving stone between your knees? And then the jokes just began right themselves.
All right, take a breath and insert the crotch rocks.
Pretty much, and that was long after the set building, and so Matt and Oracle were getting high on paint fumes. Yeah, so it's an absolutely beautiful scene, but I can only see it think, crotch rocks. It's really horrible, so you're welcome.
Also, the water was really, really cold, and I had an outtake that I didn't share because I took it on my phone, and it's like this big. But it's Mab walking into the water, and we have lights down in the water, and she's in this white diaphanous gown, and it's gorgeous, and the sound is up, and she's stepping in, and she's going super slowly, and it's floating up behind her, and she's going, oh God, oh God.
Oh, was there, did I see a question back there?
How do you suspend disbelief like that?
What do you mean?
We're children.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Seriously, for what?
No, it's just reality's going on around you. How do you suspend what you know is happening?
I see.
In the moment?
You mean?
It's actually significantly harder when there's a camera in your face, because we're mostly theater actors, where like suddenly it's all blackness around you and you can shut everything out. But when someone's trying to get like the mood and the camera's right here, and you're like, I am uncomfortable. Or like when you're shooting a gun and they're like, just shake it all out, and you're like, I feel ridiculous.
So a lot of that comes down to our director helping sort of build the mood in the setting and remind you of what your motivation is. But yeah, it's really odd because like Susie said, most of us are stage trained. So you know, for some of them, you may be doing like tight reaction shots, and you're having to remember, oh wait, I was talking to someone when I said that, and they were right about there, maybe, kind of. So there's a lot of different things to be processing that most of us aren't used to with this. So it's, you know, having Bill, and occasionally if it's a scene, oh thank God that I'm not in, trying to kind of remind them and give them, okay, here's where you are, and remember that, and hence the reason for the 30-second dance party, because sometimes you really have to shake it off. It's either been a really long day or really physically challenging, and yeah, being able to keep functioning like that, it's tricky sometimes.
I will also tell you that it depends on the style of acting that you're.
Nothing. No, we didn't. Leave Maricela alone.
But she's so pretty.
I am
Bill
not.
hasn't gotten it.
I am not originally an. I am originally not an actor by training, but after I had done a lot of technical theater, I started studying acting, and I've studied all of the various methods that have been around. And so, depending on who the actor is and what the performer, what they're most comfortable with, sometimes I can help them try to find a way to suspend disbelief and to put themselves into the role. This is a problem that television actors and movie actors have had forever. As long as people have been doing movies and film, there's the issue of how do you get into that moment. And all actors do it. Guys, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Acting is not an easy thing. How many bad things have you seen that people paid money to make, right? How many bad actors have you seen? Yes, there's a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that try to do this for a living, and it is not easy. Acting well is hard, and I am very blessed to know a bunch of people that I am very, very proud to work with and proud to show their work, because they are outstanding actors, and I would put them up against anybody in Hollywood right now. I really would. Some of these people that I'm sharing this table with are amazing on film. And on stage as well, but on film particularly, they have found the subtleties, and they're phenomenal. And I am very proud of my crew and my cast.
This is probably a whole table spread question, but what was either the one line or the one scene that took the most toll, either like concentration, avoid not laughing, what took the most out of you to do, either as a director, as an art director, props, as an actor, something, just what took the most out of you?
Actually, the one that I would bring to the fore, we actually haven't shot yet, but I actually cried a bunch writing it. and there's a scene that is between Harry and Carlos, and I rewrote it until the character stopped talking in my head. But I will tell you that the inspiration for it was my uncle, who survived a kamikaze attack during the Second World War. He was on a ship, and it was hit by a kamikaze. And I remember sitting at the dinner table with at my grandmother's house, and some vatos drove by out on the street, and the car backfired, and my uncle died under the table. And that was the inspiration for that scene. And so I'll tell you right now that even for me, that's going to be one of the hardest to shoot. But it was terribly difficult to write. But I'm going to be I think I'm going to be really happy with it when it's done. So.
On a lighter note, just to change the mood, probably the hardest for me was fixing the damn thorn manacles over and over and over again. When they were breaking out of them during a scene over and over and over again, because multiple takes.
It just didn't break the first time.
I learned. Well, first they were made out of elastic, or they were connected with elastic because that's what they came with, and that didn't work when we were like doing the cool ripping apart, chains go flying thing.
It was too hardcore.
Yeah, it was too hardcore. I fixed it with wire, but then that wasn't enough. It's both. These guys were my problem children for that.
Yeah. I will tell you though that in this when you rewatch the trailer online, at the very beginning of the sword fight sequence that you see with Maricela and Carlos, Carlos actually turns and has his back to Maricela. What he's doing at that moment, if you watch, he's actually cutting the sword manacles off of Wild Bill. He actually stops. Yeah, he actually stops in the middle of the fight and turns and cuts the sword manacles off and then turns back to her.
And sparks fly.
And yeah, sparks and things like that fly. Because how do you destroy thorn manacles? Come on, they're fairy made.
Steel.
Iron.
And I shoot the other ones out.
All right, so I think with that,
we are past our time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But tell them about the cards.
Oh yeah, the cards that were in your seats when you came in. We're we're in the process of getting all the characters, but right now we have 19. And what you have are some DragonCon exclusive ones for Red Sun. So if you want to start a collection, we're going to try to distribute them via Facebook, I think.
Yeah, there will be some more quests and stuff online. So
yeah, we're going to be passing those out, and there's a little space on the back where you can get autographs if you track these guys down, and all that, and it should be fun. There's also Lightbringer ones that you have, one of each.
Yeah, we're gonna make that into a web series, by the way. So, yeah, I don't think we did that.
Oh no, I didn't tell you that. We're remaking Lightbringer.
And we're gonna turn it into a web series. Because at the end of it, they actually end up in this world. So it's gonna become a written fantasy.
So that's how we solve the telephone problem. We put us in a world that has them.
There you go. Yeah, thank you guys very much for